My sister and I accidentally got two systems. One could enlarge objects 100 times and the other could shrink them 100 times. But 3 days later, after a brutal storm hit, everyone was trapped at home and supplies ran short. I relied on the enlarging system to multiply the little food we had, and my sister and I made it through. But after the storm ended, my sister shoved me off a high-rise. If you hadn't stolen my enlarging system, I could have made food bigger and saved Brother Chu. I was reborn again, and this time my sister rushed to choose the enlarging system first. That's when I knew she had been reborn too. I just smiled. Since you love your Brother Chu that much, I'm not saving you this time. Then my sister couldn't wait. She casually enlarged a cup beside her 100 times. See, it's real. The enlarging system is really mine now. I watched her coldly. In my last life, my sister's childhood crush, Chu Sheng, asked us for help. My sister begged me to enlarge food for his whole family, but I refused because in the apocalypse, people can't be trusted. Without my help, Chu Sheng's family starved to death early on. I survived the apocalypse only to die at the hands of the sister I protected. Brother, the enlarging system is mine now. Are you jealous? Your shrinking system doesn't seem useful at all. She was testing me. I let out a breath and acted like I didn't care. It's just a system. If you want it, take it. I don't care. When she saw I had zero interest in the enlarging system, she finally relaxed, smiled, and ran off to knock on Chu Sheng's door. Along Jiajia, what are you doing here? My sister ignored the disgust on his face and cozied right up to him like she belonged there. Brother Chu, let's keep talking. While they were doing that, I checked the date. There were still 3 days before the storm. I immediately drove to a nearby supermarket and went crazy, buying shelf-stable food, daily supplies, and even baby chicks. To build a tiny shelter, I also picked out a full set of furniture. Meanwhile, my sister was lost in her fantasy of saving her crush. That night when she got back, I was shopping online. She leaned over and said, "Brother, do you have any money? Lend me a few grand. I want to buy some food." I sneered inwardly. "Nope. I just bought a fridge and I've spent all my money." My sister suddenly shrieked, "You bought a fridge for what? Can't I replace my fridge? Why are you reacting like that?" No, I was just curious. I remember there was still some food in your room. I already gave it to the elderly people living alone in the neighborhood. Their lives are hard too, so you're not mad, right? In this second life, she didn't just take the system. She also wanted to wipe out the last of my supplies. I dropped out of school to pay for her education, help her buy a home, and support her, but she still stole my supplies and hurt me for Chu Sheng. I was completely done with her. "It's okay, brother. You're the best. I knew you wouldn't be mad at me over something this small." She wrapped her arm around me, and I pulled her hand away. "I'm tired. I'm going back to sleep. You should get some rest too." After I got back to my room, I started my final plan. Using a hidden compartment left behind during renovation, I planned to build a huge miniature farm. Early the next morning, I drove back to my hometown, shrank my old country house, shrank a bunch of land to grow crops on, and moved everything into the secret room. Within 3 days, the air filtration, wind power, and mini livestock setup were all ready. The secret room now had a house with a yard and even a few acres of farmland. While my sister was out, I also installed hidden cameras inside the house and in the hallway outside, just in case. I put a camera outside Chu Sheng's front door too, so I could watch everything from my phone. Now I could finally relax and wait for the storm to come. In the last half day before the storm, my sister ran to Chu Sheng's place again, but his family absolutely hated her. That girl across the hall has no shame. She's grown, and she still runs into my son's room every single day. Looks like she's got her eye on your son. You might be getting a daughter-in-law soon. Yeah, right, don't you know? She didn't even get into college. She just stays home living off her brother. With how broke and pathetic she is, she thinks she can marry my son? No way. An hour before the storm, I called my sister. "Hello? Brother, what's up?" I said calmly. "Something came up at work. I'm working late tonight, so I'm not coming back." She didn't even give me one warning. She just said, "Then I'll eat by myself tonight." "Okay, bye." After hanging up, I went into the secret room and used the shrinking system on myself. After a dizzy spin, I had completely shrunk down. Then I picked up a hoe and started farming in my tiny world. Outside, rain was pouring like crazy. Inside, I was feeding chickens. A few days later, the cameras showed my sister bringing Chu Sheng back to our now empty home. "Brother Chu, do you guys still have any food left?" "Not much. If I'd known, I would have stocked up more. The first floor is almost flooded now, so I can't even get out." "Jiajia, do you still have food at your place? Can you share some with me?" My sister leaned in and whispered, "Of course I do. Watch this." She casually used the enlarging system on an apple on the table. In an instant, the apple grew huge and slammed down onto the tabletop. Chu Sheng's expression went from doubt to total excitement. "Jiajia, thank God for you. Then please make all the food in our house bigger." "Okay, Brother Chu, but I have one tiny request. You know I like you, right? If I can save your